Welcome to Workout Wednesday. Nathan Clark, Domination Nation Gym. Every week, I'm bringing to you just snippets of a workout throughout the week with no strings attached, just for fun because I can. I'm compiling, assembling, and bringing together some of the best equipment in the world. So before we do anything else, would love if you hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss some of the cool content I'm going to bring to you. So I kind of didn't show you my UCS GHD weighted movement in my calf movements, but this is a cool superset. Single leg seated leg curl. This is perhaps the best seated leg curl to do a single leg. It's very hard to do a single leg on a seated leg curl. This is the Power Plus. Phenomenal machine. It needs a little bit of adjustment. Once I can get a hold and get my welder over here, I'm going to fix this. But there's a fantastic taper, a very, very smooth movement, but surprisingly good done one leg at a time. Then we're going to superset that to the standing single leg curl on this Strive prone leg curl machine. Really cool, unique movement. I showed this on here before, but hits phenomenally well. But just on one leg at a time, it's amazing the pump you'll get in the entire aspect of both the inner and outer hamstrings. I definitely prefer to do leg curls, particularly standing leg curls or prone leg curls, with my hips fully extended. So you'll definitely get a unique stimulus standing upright at a slight forward lean. So this machine actually allows you to do something you cannot do with free weights or any other machine that I know of. It allows you to get past perpendicular and overextend your back and your posterior chain and get that extra peak contraction, that isometric contraction, after you've already fully shortened. It's just a phenomenal feeling, particularly with bands. I'm going to show you two movements, compound movements, where we hit the posterior chain from the extreme stretch position and the extreme contraction. The cool thing with this machine, it actually does both, even though it's really stretch oriented, because you're really mimicking an RDL or stiff-legged deadlift. So the cool thing is this knee pad does pivot, and you can adjust it up and down to make it right at your hip height. I put it a little bit lower because it's harder, so you have to use less weight. But see how much I'm able to extend. So some people will say that's not safe or it's dumb, but you guys get on this machine and try it with the band. That last 20 degrees of movement is just a pure isometric contraction. After you've fully shortened the glutes, it's a crazy, amazing stimulus. So I'm just doing this as time under tension. I shoot for like 70, 80 seconds, 2 to 3 sets of this. I find this is the best way to do this movement rather than trying to just add max weight and do like 5 to 8 reps. It works best this way. This is probably my favorite way to do hip thrusts. I've used lots of hip thrust machines. There's some decent ones. I'll show you a different video of the one I like the best that's on the market. But this particular movement beats most machines. All right, so just at a power rack, I've got it set up so I've got some heavy orange bands inside with some band pegs low. Moderate weight, not super heavy. But I want you to watch how I'm able, there's a 2 steps to this movement. Straight, throw my hips high to the air, and you see how I lean back? So I'm using this Fortis Fitness Glute Bridge bench. I've showed this on here many times. One of the simplest, most favorite pieces in my gym because I can do lots of cool leg movements with it. But see how I bring my hips high and extend, and I'm driving through my feet, and then I actually pivot back on the bench, and the bar hits the front of those uprights. So that last second part really gives me that isometric contraction, similar to the last movement I showed you. I've already fully shortened it. I'm just leaning back and allowing the bench to pivot me back. So I'm getting a true isometric contraction. It's crazy pump in the glutes. So I do not like hip thrust machines where the back pad does not pivot, where you have to pivot your own back, too much back strain. I don't like them where the pad is too long. This is a short pad to allow my spine to sit in its natural curvature. And you need one to give you adequate pre-stretch. This is more of a glute bridge movement than hip thrust. I just have not been too keen on most 98% of hip thrust machines out there, honestly. They kind of are very underwhelming. So again, the cool thing with that is you're able to get full hip extension, and then you're able to do this isometric just by utilizing the technology of this cool bench. So let me show you what I think is the best way to use the Precor carry and lunge machine. For me, I love focusing on the front leg, the glute of the front leg, getting maximal hip flexion and extension, and driving through that front glute. So it's just an oldie but a goodie. I've had this machine for a while. Honestly, in the last year, I've just learned how to actually use it, I think, the best. You can make this movement quad bias, but I find a reverse lunge movement is actually phenomenal for your glutes. So I try to keep the back leg mostly straight and let the front hip flex. So leaning forward a little bit, you can see I lean forward over it. And I'm trying to keep that back leg straight and let the glutes and my front leg fully stretch, and then drive through that front glute. There's that pad restraint that allows you to drive your front leg to really feel that contraction. It's just a phenomenal machine. I mean, torture, doing just 2 sets of 20, 25 on each side, back to back to back. It's a cardiovascular workout, really. But what do you guys, any of you guys have this machine? What's your favorite lunge machine? I haven't found a better lunge machine than this, honestly. I know there's some other ones out there, but there's something special about the reverse lunge. And I find this machine allows you to do something you can't really do with free weights, because it takes a lot of the guesswork and a lot of the stabilizing mechanism of the leg out of it. Been on a single leg training kick the last 6 months. I just find it's phenomenal. This is just using my Frank Zane leg buster to do some glute biased lunges to finish up the glute pump. So the prices of new gym equipment these days is crazy. What would you guys pay for a new piece of gym equipment? Now, I know many of you are probably gym owners. You can write this stuff off. I still have yet to find a way to write this off. So I was just in contact with this guy today. I'm always looking for pieces. One of the Panatta dealers in the U.S. for a new Panatta piece, a specific Panatta fly machine. Guess what they want for it, brand new, without even shipping to my house? I was floored. It's like $9,200 for a freaking chest fly machine. Like, what is this? Like, I don't care if it's made in Italy. I don't care if it's got gold in it. It's a freaking piece of gym equipment. Like, it's not worth $9,200. I don't understand. Like, for me, it's like, yeah, I'm a connoisseur of good gym equipment, but like, you got to be real here. You got to be realistic. Like, obviously these companies brand themselves as premium or whatever, but I have several Panatta pieces. They're not worth that much. Yeah, they're high quality, but they're not even close to worth that much. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Just the price of new gym equipment with certain companies is just crazy. Like, it's not friendly for people like you and I who are just gym equipment connoisseurs that may have a home gym. Maybe if you have a huge, humongous gym or chain, yeah, go for it. But it's just not possible. I mean, I do very well financially, but I don't care. Like, it's just a dumb decision for someone like me who gets nothing out of it to pay $9,200 for a freaking one piece of gym equipment. Just my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you guys think. And nothing against Panatta, whatever. I mean, maybe the price of stuff has gone up, but it's not worth that much. I'm sorry, it's just not worth that much.